Tom, a new for us bladder pump from QED. So why are we so interested in this product?
It's a much higher spec bladder pump. It's a lot easier to use, a lot easier to set up, and it's a lot higher quality, much better than what we're used to.
Can we talk about the components then, which make up this set? So I guess the pump itself is called the Sample Pro.
Yeah.
It's much heavier than what we're used to. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's much heavier, much higher quality. Main difference is the inlet is at the top of the pump. The other pumps we've
What's
used.
the advantage of that?
So you can probably deploy this right to the bottom of your well, and you're not going to get any sediment in there. Other pumps that we've used have got got the inlet at the bottom, and it can quite easily get clogged up with silt and sediment. So yeah, you've got the inlet here. Other advantages: the bladder is much easier to get to and replace. Just twist the wrong bit now. Just twist and slide, and off that comes. And you've got there's another difference there. You've got a concertina bladder. Ones we've used before, just a solid piece, and they just compress, and they can get damaged while they're working.
This is still low density polyethylene, I think.
Yes, it is. Yeah,
that's the same type of material.
Yeah.
But it's easier to replace.
Yeah. So it just slides off. There's one locking ring, and that's it. Just slides off. You've got a locking ring there,
and we supply these. Individually.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
So that's so you throw this one away after your sampling event.
Yep.
You put the ring on the new one and just slip it back on.
Slip it back on. Yeah. And they've got a similar capacity to the other bladders, about 120 millilitres. So you've got a similar.
So that is much easier and then you just put the casing back on.
Yeah, you just got to line the lugs up and twist it on.
And there's an O-ring here.
Yep.
And if that gets lost, we supply.
Yeah, there'll be a spare in the kit.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're covered there. So yeah, just line everything up and lock it in place.
And lock it in place. So that is a lot easier than the current pumps that we use. Yeah. And I noticed that we've sort of made a hybrid with barbed connections.
Yeah. So we've put the barbed connections on, so it's compatible with our current line of tubing. Which makes it a lot easier.
That's the low density polyethylene rolls of
100 metre
rolls. And also I think it's worthwhile pointing out that there's the small barb is for the air.
For the air, yeah.
And the larger barb is your discharge tubing. And you can't mix them up because of different sizes.
Because of the sizes,
Yeah. So going on to the controller, because that's quite an interesting beast. So that comes in a penny case, and the display, which you probably can't see on the video, is particularly interesting, and maybe later we can take a still shot of that. But whereas it has a lot of internal memories, there is one which is called the MP mode, which stands for micropurging. So taking the micropurge, the MP setting, makes the pump a lot easier to use, I think. You don't have to fiddle with
there's none of that anymore, no.
None of that.
You can almost deploy and turn it on, and you're good to go.
So you deploy the deployment, the pressure that you use is dependent on the deployment depth.
Yes.
Yeah. And so how do I know how to set the throttle?
So there's a chart here that's got all your settings here, so you can see your depth, and it will tell you what.
So, for example, if my deployment depth is 11 meters, I've got to set my throttle
at 50.
At 50 feet, that is, yes. And it's feet because it's American.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So what else can we say about the controller? We've got the compressor here.
Yes, yeah, compressor on that side. There's an internal air tank. So just because the air tank, because you've got the air tank there, the controller is powered there. So just because the compressor isn't running doesn't mean you're not using the pump. So
I come to site because also I think something worth noticing is that there is a reed switch in the box.
Yes.
So the internal programmer, which runs on three AA batteries. Three AA batteries. And you supply spares, Tom, as well.
Yeah, so there's spare batteries actually in the case there. If I can get it off, there you go. So there's 3 in there, and you get 3 spares with it.
Yes, and the indicator tells you, I think,
yes,
the battery is
there's a battery indicator on there.
So that is independently controlled with its own power supply from those 3 AA's.
Yep.
But in order to run the compressor, which I've got to say is much heavier duty than the current compressors that we have, it's a question of connecting with the connection lead.
Yes.
Which is wrapped around there, and then
it's hardwired on there.
Probably worth just showing the battery at this stage. So it's a lithium battery. It's a 20 amp hour battery. It's really light, isn't it?
It is really light.
Really light, and enough power for about a day's work. Yes.
Yep. Yeah, it should get you through a day. Yep.
Of course, it's dependent on the
there's lots of factors
pump depth, temperature, and so forth. So the battery is the set comes with a connection lead to the mains.
Yep.
The charger is inside the box, I think.
Yep.
And then it's a question of connection, and I think that's done with aligning the white pip here to the white on that side. And
just twisting the locking ring.
Locking the ring, just like that. I think we want to point out, because we have this problem with other settings.
Yeah, it's really
important. You don't
important.
twist on this.
To turn the locking ring and not the plugs.
Turn the locking ring and the plug. So as soon as you connect this, the compressor will start compressing.
Yep.
So you get to site, you have established your deployment depth, and you do that with a dip meter, of course.
Yep.
You set the throttle according to the
to your depth chart.
To the depth chart. You leave it in micropurge mode, which comes with 4 cycles per minute as a default.
Yep.
So it's 4 cycles of charge and discharge. And then you deploy your pump, you attach the tubing, and then the last thing we have to connect is the airline.
The airline.
And that just fits in the air out.
Yeah, so it's just a locking ring on there. You lift that, push it in, that's connected there.
And the
tubing goes on there. It's just a quick connect on
that's
there.
A quick
so
connect.
Just push your tubing in, and that's it connected.
And to release, you just press the button.
Pull the black locking ring, and out it comes.
Pull the tubing out. And this is good for 60 meters?
60 meters, yeah. If you want to go any deeper, you need to have an additional air source, which is you can attach there. So you'd need an extra air cylinder just to give it a bit of a boost.
So that's compressed air cylinder, nitrogen or carbon dioxide?
Yep.
Or I presume you could also use an external compressor if you have that on site.
If you've got one,
If you have that on site.
that would work.
Already. So that makes things a lot easier, I think.
Yes.
So I just wrote a few notes. I just want to make sure that I've got that we've covered the main points of this. The couple of advantages are the higher flow rate. So the flow rate is a little bit higher. Not that it's always necessary, but it's pleasant to have.
Yep.
It's easier to set up and use.
Yes, much easier.
Easier to change the bladder.
Yep.
The water inlet is
it's higher up the pump.
It's higher up the pump, so you don't get the sediment.
Yeah, less likely to get blocked up.
You've got the micropurge mode, which is great, and the idea with the micropurge mode is that although it's set at 4 cycles per minute, depending on your depth, what you're aiming, I think, is for a steady flow of water.
Yes.
Rather than a pulsing. So you just control that with a up and down arrow.
Yeah, just minor adjustments on that. And
minor adjustments to make sure that you have a constant flow rate. You can use an external air supply if you want to go deeper.
Yep.
And you'd use that with a drop tube assembly, I presume.
Yeah.
They're compatible with our standard tubing, so the diameters, lengths are the same.
All the same,
I think it's much more robust, isn't it?
Oh yes, it's definitely much more robust. Yeah.
I think it's important to point out that when you're using it on site and it's raining, just to
drop the lid down.
Drop the lid down like this.
Yeah,
don't force it closed, but just to protect it a little bit. And although the battery comes in a separate petty case, it's also important to point out that when you're charging, the case has got to be open, doesn't it?
Yes, the battery needs a bit of ventilation while it's charging.
Needs ventilation, tell me a little bit about some of the problems that you've experienced. You've been here 10 years now, so you see these on a daily basis, and you speak to customers almost on a daily basis. What are the biggest issues that people have on site?
So it's generally the getting a bit of muck in the solenoid, which stops the pump from functioning properly. And once that happens, it's a case of taking the controller apart and disassembling the solenoid to clean out that muck. So that can have a real effect on site. And the other is when the bladder gets crushed, it can perforate it, and that's just going to ruin your sampling. So it's another annoyance to deal with if you've got to keep changing bladders.
And I think changing the bladder is a lot easier on this.
On this one, way easier.
Especially in the winter with cold, wet hands perhaps.
Yes.
You don't need any tools.
No.
I know from a long time ago that people were complaining that they find it really difficult to
it's difficult to get some of the locking rings over the top of the bladders on the other pumps. This is far superior and far easier to use.
So how do we supply it? So we supply it as a kit for rental and for purchase. And that includes the controller.
Yep, the controller.
It includes the pump.
The pump, you get the battery. You get some O-rings. Spare bladder. You obviously get the tube in to connect straight into the pump, and that's your kit.
Yeah, so we call this a sort of a premium pump.
Yes.
But I think there will be some benefits, time saving.
Yes.
More robust, more resilient. Therefore, the likelihood of downtime is reduced with this. And for information, they go to Icky and Fleur.
Yep.
Yeah. Great. Have I forgotten anything else?
Don't think so. You've covered everything.
Great. Thanks, Tom.